Hey folks, how are we doing? Well, today we're going to be switching over to the dark side and playing some Grixis Delver. I know it's supposed to be a teamer channel, so hopefully you guys don't all unsubscribe. So I did, let's see, win the ELD Time Vault Open on Saturday. I mean, it's a $14 person tournament, but it is a $50 entry. And I was playing just a standard teamer beans list, and that was pretty exciting. But I find in the league metagame, teamer beans is pretty rough. You're just playing against Bowmasters like every round. I do kind of miss just playing the level 1 tempo deck. I enjoyed playing with Wrenn and 6 when that was legal. Orcish Bowmasters seems like a more reasonable version of Wrenn and 6. So here we are. So we're going to get into it with some Grixis tempo. And I just stole a list from Jake TMS. And, this seems up and down like a legit list. So hopefully we get to hit some people with Price of Progress. All right, let's do it. All right, we're going to start on the play. Sadly, it's a mulligan. And this is going to be a keep. I'll just put back a Wasteland here. And we'll start on a Dragon's Rage Channeler, because we may need to pitch this Delver to force. Channeler's in. The old basic island Preordain from the opponent. Preordain usually suggests some kind of combo. Alright, it's one on top and one on the bottom for the opponent. We draw a Misty Rainforest. So I kind of want to keep the Delver in hand if they're showing Preordain. On the other hand, we're going to get to see our top card of our library. And this is like another clock. We can probably find another blue card for force at some point. So a Plains and a Ponder's interesting. I mean, it makes me think blue-white show and tell, possibly. So they chose not to shuffle. We reveal a blue card. I will take it. So I guess I can keep the Wasteland a surprise here. We might draw Brainstorm and have the opportunity to put it back. Sometimes you can regret not making the land drop. A Terminus. Well, that's a good one. I guess I have to force a will this. And put Polluted Delta in the graveyard. I could Lightning Bolt and try to sculpt my draw and maybe potentially get Dragon's Rage Channeler Delirious here. With Prismatic Vista, they could have like an Ice Fang Coatl, although I don't know who on earth is playing that kind of card these days. So maybe I'll just Lightning Bolt my opponent. Maybe we'll find Orcish Bowmasters if they're on a Coatl plan. Well, I'm glad we did not have to draw that land. Well, a Daze isn't a completely dead draw. Okay, I'm gonna Daze the Snapcaster. I don't wish to lose my Dragon's Rage Channeler. Murky Rage. Well, that's not gonna give my Dragon's Rage Channeler Delirium anyway. And so I guess I'm gonna keep that on top. We may need another threat here. Ooh, they're using a Force of Negation. I mean, that's fine. That makes me feel like forcing their Terminus was good. So we'll do a little trade, and they still take 3. We'll have a 5/5 Murktide coming down next turn. All right, they're cracking their vista. They're doing something. Monastery Mentor. Well, that is not that frightening from this vantage point here. Murktide off the top is going to be a good play. We're still threatening them here. Ponder doesn't instantly win them the game, so. I'll attack with the Delver. And I guess, I mean, they could just have a Terminus here. I guess I'm going to hope that they don't. At least if they Terminus, they'll be losing their own boy as well. I guess I'll leave the creature in the graveyard because I can get another land in the graveyard with Wasteland. Alright, well, Murktide's in. So do they have the Terminus here? They don't. Okay. They have a Narset. Okay. So the opponent Narsets and finds Prismatic Ending. That's not going to do it. Well, unless they have a Swords and a Prismatic Ending somehow. That would definitely do it. Good news is that they're in bolt range. Wow, they did manage to find both the Swords and the Prismatic Ending, so that's well done. So we need to rip a Lightning Bolt here. We're up to 23. Here's the Prismatic Ending. Yeah, they're gonna have a whole bunch of damage on the stack here, so yeah, we're probably dead if we don't, well, we just need to naturally draw the Lightning Bolt too, so we only have 3 outs. But I guess we can survive for a couple turns here. And I didn't get the Underground Sea inexplicably. That's pretty weak. They'll activate Narset. They find Force of Will. The Bowmaster really wouldn't have done it anyway. But I mean, I guess in my defense, I haven't fetched for an Underground Sea in a long time. And I thought that the creatures were going to go the distance there. Okay, well, we're only taking 6, so we have one more crack at it, but they have a Force of Will, so yeah, the Bowmaster's not gonna magically get across the finish line here. Yeah, I could block the Monastery Mentor and take out a token if they chose not to force. All right, well, you know, almost had it. I mean, the good news is Counterbalance is a beating. Pyroblast is a good sideboard card. So I think I'm going to sideboard out the 4 bolts and, well, I guess we're keeping in some bolts for the Mentor, and I obviously would prefer bolt over Unholy Heat. I guess Force of Will. We're on the play. I like the ability to hard cast Force of Negation. So I'm going to do it like this. Alright, this is a good looking hand. Okay, we'll start off on a Delver of Secrets. I guess the good news is they don't know we're playing black. They Vista into an island. I'm not going to Daze their Preordain here. Alright, they scryed into 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Bauble's the draw. Gonna play Ponder here. Another Delver. I think another Delver is okay at this stage in the game. I mean, we're not playing into Terminus for a little bit here, at least. And I guess I'll just grab the Underground Sea. The gig is up. So we're going to save this Bauble for the old trick. The Bauble Delver trick. If you're not familiar with, you're about to see. Here's a Brainstorm from the opponent. So I guess they're setting up a Terminus. All right, I'll Bauble myself. A Wasteland. I guess I could have boarded out Wasteland. So we want the Bauble trigger to resolve first here. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Whoops. I think I revealed it. So we'll just attack for 2. And pass the turn. The opponent insta has Terminus. And I guess they had to Brainstorm for it, to be fair. But we do have a bunch more creatures, so I suppose it could be worse. Looks like they're gonna pass it on back. Okay, here's a Dragon's Rage. Here's a Ponder. There's a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize I don't hate, but it's not really great right here, and it can grow the Murktide. Alright, the opponent's gonna crack this Vista. Pyroblast, Wasteland, and Daze. Pyroblast is good, and the other 2 cards are not, so it's a shuffle. Alright, I don't hate the Brainstorm. This Wasteland, I guess, could help cast Murktide Regent. But I think I'd rather put it back to Dragon's Rage Channeler. So a Strand crack from the opponent. A Monastery Mentor. And a Prismatic Ending. Alright, so we can Daze the Prismatic Ending. Which we will. A Delver of Secrets. I think I'll just put that in the graveyard. Yeah, I have more creatures I can play. Alright, that resolves, so we are racing this Mentor. Another Daze. Okay, I'll attack. I'll play a Murktide. I guess it's going to be pretty hard to keep Delirium. I'll leave the 2 hardest ones to get in the graveyard, Sorcery and Artifact. Ooh, we're going to get to Daze this Force. Now that's value. Gotta like that. So I think we're going to get to... do I want to keep... No, I'll put that in the graveyard. I think we're going to get to replay a land here. Untapped. No, okay, I already played a land. Alright, the opponent's going to Narset. Alright, well, let's hope they don't find Swords to Plowshares. Although it doesn't... I guess it's not a huge deal if they do. Because we can get Delirium on the Dragon's Rage Channeler and just attack to kill Narset. We probably have to attack and kill Narset either way. Okay, there's a Prismatic Ending. And a Mountain. PE on the DRC. And they can make some kind of attack here. They do not make any attack. Okay. Well, we're going to need to clear the Narset here. And we need to draw like something besides more lands off this Brainstorm. Okay, those are cards. We'll take out the Mentor. Play a Bauble. They're drawing a land. Okay, well that is good news. So that means that we can just Murktide to grow the Murktide to 10/10, and that'll be game. We're getting a game 3. Yeah, they get in for 4. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just play Murktide here. Exile some instants and sorceries. And attack for the win. Okay. So Daze is less exciting on the draw. So I might do something like that. I wonder how many copies of Mentor my opponent's playing. They haven't seemed like too big of a deal, so 3 Lightning Bolts is probably okay. And now we're bringing in some forces. I guess I'll just run it back, well, with the forces over some Dazes. Okay, so we open a Thoughtseize hand. So I don't think I have to play Thoughtseize on turn 1. If they're just holding up Scalding Tarn, I think I'm gonna just play Delver of Secrets. I don't really want to just Thoughtseize into a Brainstorm is the thing. Yep. They get a basic mountain. Well, that's interesting. So we're gonna get like a Pyroblast here. I guess the one thing, I probably could have trimmed a Wasteland for a 3rd Force of Will, and I completely forgot about it. That is one thing to think about when playing this deck. Ooh, we ripped the land. So we'll play Thoughtseize here. Okay, they've got a Brainstorm, so be it. Okay, we're in there with Thoughtseize. Wow, a bunch of Rest in Pieces and a Teferi. Well, I guess they can have Rest in Peace. Alternatively, I think I can just take my chances against Rest in Peace, although I don't love it. But I don't even have like Orcish Bowmasters, and we have game, I think. I mean, Murktide Regent will just have to try to pitch to Force of Will. I'm not going to worry about their 2x Rest in Peace. Okay, Delver's in. They're going to cycle Lorien Revealed here. I wonder if they'll get a land that I can Wasteland. They wisely go for the island. They have a Flooded Strand to get basic planes anyway, so that would stand to reason. I X'd the wrong card, but we get the idea. Yeah, I'm just going to not worry about Rest in Peace here. So hopefully this Delver flips, and I'll probably just pass the turn holding up Force of Negation. Delver does not flip. Well, we'll attack for 1. So do I want to ponder here? I guess that I do. Well, these are some cards. So I guess I'm gonna hide the Force of Will, reveal the Ponder to Delver of Secrets, and have the Daze in hand. And this way we get to possibly Daze something. Or just pitch the Daze to Force of Will. Force of Negation, I mean. A Blood Moon. Well, I think that's gonna be one that I would like to Force of Will. Okay, this Delver is gonna flip. Pyroblast and Force of Will. Well, these cards are okay. I guess I can keep, and what we're gonna do is just get up to 5 mana to hardcast Force of Will. So I'll draw the Pyroblast this turn. Yeah, play the Wasteland. And we've got a bit of interaction held up here. Okay, this Pyroblast is gonna be nice. Looks like they're a red blast for my Delver. Okay. So we're gonna be playing some Drago here. I guess I have the option to force a pitch away. Sacrifice the Scalding Tarn to decline the force if we so desire. But I think drawing force seems fine. What I'd love to do is draw an Orcish Bowmaster or a Counterbalance, but we are not getting that lucky. And yeah, they're gonna get to wear my life total down with Snapcaster here in their with their rest in peace out. But I do have this Lightning Bolt earmarked for their Dome or okay, a Brainstorm. So I might do that on my opponent's end step here. Or we can just hang on to this Brainstorm, I think. I would like to find an Orcish Bowmaster with it when they go to play something. Okay, well there's the Orcish Bowmaster. So I might just Bowmaster on their end step. I don't know, or maybe we can just afford to wait. Well, they now have 5 mana. So I think what I'm going to do is go for the end of turn Brainstorm and see how they want to respond. Couple DRCs and a Wasteland. Well, that's not very good. Well, now I don't have a blue card to protect my Orcish Bowmaster with. But I will play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, they're gonna crack that Vista. And here's a Blood Moon. I guess I'm just going to tap out for Force of Will here. At least they can't Red Blast my Force of Will. Come on now. Get some Surveil value. Don't need this Flooded Strand. Okay. Well, at least we seem to know they don't have an answer for the Bowmaster. I see they strategically played around the Bowmaster there. That's well done by them. So I could not block here. I think this makes it seem more like I don't have the Bowmaster, and we could potentially get the old Bowmaster blowout. Ooh, Counterbalance. That's just what I needed. Alright, Counterbalance is in. That's a good one. Okay, they're just gonna pass here. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'll take it. Another Snapcaster. Well, I'll use Counterbalance's ability. We revealed Ponder. Okay. They're cracking a Strand. I guess I'm gonna see what they do here. Narset. Alright, I cannot stop it. So this seems like a good spot to Bowmaster. You can take out the Snapcaster Mage. and hopefully just attack the Narset. And we are protected from anything that might cost 1 here. Well, they found Terminus. It's going to be a good one for them. And another Rest in Peace. Okay, so yeah, we play Thoughtseize, take the Terminus. We kept the Brainstorm on top. So the opponent's just passing through their turn here. We are attacking. Okay, so they are playing a Prismatic Ending on my Bowmaster. Well, I guess I'm going to Brainstorm in response and look for an answer to this. Or a card, a 2-drop, as it were. Okay, so they have a counterspell. All right, so I shan't use counterspell's ability or counterbalance's ability. I'm just gonna keep the Pyroblast on top because that seems like a reasonably good card. And then we'll just have to beat down for 2 here for a little bit. So they're close to dead here. That's 7. Okay, they're gonna pass it on back. Polluted Delta. Not super exciting. We'll play it out because we might want the shuffle if we know what's on top of our library, thanks to Counterbalance. All right, the opponent's just gonna pass it back here. Another Lightning Bolt. Well, that's probably good, huh? Murktide Regent on top. Okay. We'll attack for 1. And I'm just going to finish them off in the upkeep. I guess what I maybe should have done is gotten the Surveil value. Oh, okay. Well, I misclicked there. Okay, but they conceded. All right, very good. Well, that was a little rusty with the old Grixis Delver, but we got there. Okay, game 2. We've got a Thoughtseize hand here. I think that is fine enough to keep on the draw. The opponent did mulligan to 6. Okay. What are we working with? All right, it's the old Bayou Pass from the opponent. Well, I'm gonna kick it off with Thoughtseize here and see what happens. Okay, well, I'm glad I have the Thoughtseize here. So I'm not sure how these decks are built these days. Like, if I take Beseech the Mirror, can they just get ad nauseum? Probably not, right? They probably play 4 copies of Beseech the Mirror. Now, alternatively, I could take Infernal Tutor. And then, it seems like they can just Beseech the Mirror for something. Well, at least they're playing into something. I guess I wish I had Baubled them first. I suppose that would be the obvious thing to do so I could see what's on top. But if they couldn't go off with this turn, then I'd have to imagine taking Beseech the Mirror is the way to go. All right. What are they drawing? Yeah, so Bauble showed a Bauble from them. Okay, so the opponent drew a Bauble and they're just passing it back. I would like to ponder here, but that's going to preclude Thoughtseizing. I think I just have to play Thoughtseize again. It seems a lot better than holding up double Daze. Okay. Now I can take the Infernal Tutor. And they don't have too much going on over there. So from here, I think we're in a position where Daze hopefully is not too bad. Okay. So we will slam the Dragon's Rage. An Orcish Bowmaster. That would be fun, but what I'd really like is a Force of Will. We will shuffle these. Well, Wasteland is not bad with the Dazes in hand, huh? Okay. Then we can Bauble away the Flooded Strand. I think I kind of... I mean, a Force of Will would be nice, but having Wasteland there is pretty close to Force of Will. Unless they go for it this turn. Well, they're thinking pretty hard over there, so something might be about to go down. Alright, so the opponent's coming in with a Mishra's Bauble. And a Lotus Petal. Well, I guess they drew something. Hopefully Double Daze can somehow get the job done here. They sure do have a lot of mana. Dark Ritual, yeah. I guess they just ripped another Beseech. They sure did. Well, I guess the thing that I could have done differently here is go after their mana. Maybe I should have just taken Lion's Eye Diamond there. And that would have set up maybe Daze to be a lot better. Okay, so they've elected to crack their LED. I think they're just going to get Gaia's Will here and win would be my guess. They are going to settle for Empty the Warrens, though, and I guess that's probably unbeatable. I guess I'll play a Ponder. So Bowmaster would probably be an okay one. And there it is. I guess I was thinking that Dragon's Rage would be a blocker, but I guess it really wouldn't matter. There's just no way I'm gonna get them killed in time. Alright, I'm just gonna concede. Okay, so we have 7 cards to bring in. And it doesn't seem like they play any kind of Xantid Swarms. I guess there might be a Helm of Obedience juke. This is the list from Monkeys Can't Cry. Seems like what they're on. So they do play Urza's Saga. So maybe Meltdown's a consideration. Well, it's easy enough to trim 1 Bauble. Then I need to trim a couple more cards. Orcish Bowmaster, I don't think is going to be that great in this matchup. I mean, well, I guess against the Song of Creation, it does something. So maybe I'll just roll with 1 Bauble. Alright, well, we'll try going first again here. I mean, it's a pretty okay hand, just I could lose turn 1. Does have Ponder into turn 2 Bowmaster. I mean, I guess it has the cantrip. How likely am I to get turned 1'd? Alright, I guess I'm gonna keep. I mean, we have 6 potential forces we can find. And I don't know. If they've got the turn 1, then they've got me. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do the Bauble. All right, let's see what the Bauble has to say. A Veil of Summer, okay. Let's play Ponder. There's a Thoughtseize. It's pretty bad against their Veil of Summer, and then these Flooded Strands aren't great. Or the fetch lands there. Okay, we did draw Force of Will, which isn't great against Veil of Summer either, but at least there's not 2 duds coming afterwards. Alright, the opponent's coming in with Mox Opal. So I don't know if they're going to try to go for something here. It looks like they are. A Carpet. Well, I'm not going to force the Carpet. Okay, so they're just playing out a bunch of mana and passing. Oh, they're going to do some more action on their second main here, it would seem. Well, it's probably a bad sign then. That they're going for it here, because they'll have the mana to play Veil of Summer. So yeah. Well, the opponent's playing at a agonizingly slow pace. You're just trying to, you know, play a game of Magic, and they have to go down to 13 minutes. But it seems like, you know, you would just play Veil of Summer first because you have LED in play. Let's see, what could their 3 cards be? One of them is Veil of Summer. One of them must be Beseech the Mirror. So, how do we get to... Yeah, what could they have to get to the Beseech the Mirror? A Dark Ritual. Okay. Are they just going to go for it without the Veil protection? There's some way they can... I think they're just going to get blown up by Force of Will here, then. That would be awesome. Oh no. I guess maybe the last card's Infernal Tutor. No, it's not. Okay. So do I want to Force of Negation this, pitching Force of Will or Murktide Regent? Yeah, there's just no way they can play the Veil of Summer that we know they have. So we're going to leave them with just an LED. I guess we'll have the Orcish Bowmasters to attack with. And then we can, yeah, we'll get to 3 mana pretty quick here to be holding up Force of Negation. So, yeah, unless they have like a secret green mana to pay for this Veil of Summer with. Okay. Ooh, we drew the Rod. Well, that is exciting. That'll shut off that LED. Yeah, okay, and they went ahead and conceded. I'm pretty excited to have another crack at this. All right, so Orcish Bowmasters, I still think is not so exciting that we need 4 of them. And I do want to be not running a ton of Baubles and Rods in the same deck. And I could cut the 4th Bauble for a Bowmaster, but that seems most likely not reasonable. The only thing I could do is go up to like a 2nd Bauble maybe, which could maybe cause tension with the Null Rod. But you could cut something that's less inspiring. Is the Bowmaster... How good is the Bowmaster really? I mean, it does pick off a Xanted Swarm in the off chance that that happens, but that seems pretty unlikely. I mean, Daze is not super exciting either. And the Bowmaster is a 2-drop. I think I'll be fine with 1 Bauble and just run it back. That last game made me like reasonably optimistic about how well Meltdown's gonna work. they're gonna dump out a bunch of artifacts. Yeah, maybe Meltdown won't be completely useless. Alright, well, we can't ask for too much of a better hand than this on the draw here, so yeah, I'm gonna keep. And the opponent does mulligan to 6, so maybe they'll go all in on something here. Okay, well, the opponent decided to keep after a bit of a wait there on 6. Maybe they'll go all in on something on turn 1 here, and we'll get to force it. Looks like it's a basic swamp into a Thoughtseize, I'm gonna guess. Sure is. So they'll get to snag our Force of Will, presumably. But we'll have the opportunity to try to draw another one, and yeah, maybe Daze can hold the fort down. But if we get to 2 mana, then Counterbalance is going to be pretty sweet. Okay, so they took Force of Will as predicted. Well, there's a Null Rod, so maybe I can survive this turn 2 here and get the Rod down. But yeah, we're obviously going to not crack this fetch land so as to not juice up their Carpet of Flowers more than is needed. If they Thoughtseize, I guess I'll go ahead and Brainstorm in response. They could still play Carpet, but it'd be hard not to have the chance to Daze it, I would think. Okay, an Urza Saga. Okay, so now I have some tension as to whether I just want to Wasteland this thing or what. I'm going to get the Underground Sea because Thoughtseize and Wasteland would be a sick turn. Okay, but we drew the Force of Will. So we're punished for not getting the Volcanic, but I think that's okay. So we're going to have Force of Will. I'm going to want to Wasteland that Saga, I think. Although 1 turn of Saga tokens, I mean, I can probably deal with. How big could that thing get? And we'll have the Rod down. Hang on, I'm just trying to have a look at this deck list again. Are they going to have some kind of answer? Haywire Might and Abrupt Decays would be their potential answers here for my Null Rod. Well, Dragon's Rage is not very exciting. And I guess I'll hide, you know, my Force of Will and draw that again. Okay, now is the moment of truth. Do we just Rod them and let them get down a Saga token, potentially? You would think that Null Rod would be able to keep up with a Saga token. I mean, Murktide Regent. I'm just going to play the Null Rod, I think. And then, yeah, take my chances against however big this Saga token is. All right, well, Null Rod is in. I guess the good news is it's hard for them to Abrupt Decay this Null Rod and make Saga tokens and go off. It's pretty hard to Abrupt the token and do anything around Daze. Abrupt Decay the Rod, yeah, and play around Daze here if they want to do anything else, which will give me the window to Wasteland the Saga. Okay, well, it looks like after some deliberation, they are just going to pass the turn. Which means I don't even have to Wasteland their Urza Saga. It's just going to go away. I mean, they could get a Haywire Might off of it. There's another Wasteland coming. But So I could Wasteland the Saga. No, because I was thinking about how if I Wastelanded this, they're going to get to float a mana and then potentially play like Carpet of Flowers around Daze or something like that. But I do want to draw this Force of Will. See, I'm not really doing anything with this Wasteland anyway. So I could just Wasteland the Saga. But I want to get the Carpet down, the Counterbalance down next turn off my fetch land. Yeah, I guess I'm just giving this Storm deck a lot of room, but we're the control deck for sure. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let them do this, and I'm sure we can survive with 2 forces and a Daze. And then next turn we'll play Counterbalance. Yep. All right, some Saga triggers happening here. All right, they're gonna float a colorless. I guess the thing about this trigger is it does give them something to potentially sacrifice to the Besiege the Mirror, but I just think it's a chance that we have to take here. Okay, another Lotus Petal. We're gonna be okay with that. I guess they could go like Bayou, Abrupt Decay on the Null Rod. And then we need to be watching out for some kind of Empty the Warrens line. Okay, it's a Lion's Eye Diamond from the opponent. I feel like we have to let that resolve. Now here's a Dark Ritual. And yeah, I'm getting some Force of Will vibes. Is like, that's something I should do here. So let's force pitching the Daze. Okay. Well, now we're not going to lose to at least like Empty the Warrens extremely readily. I'll take the opportunity to get Counterbalance down. And we've got Force into Dragon's Rage next turn. If they play a Carpet, I'm going to think about Wastelanding my own thing here. But we drew a Murktide. And that's probably better than Dragon's Rage. So let's get in there. Yeah, I don't see a reason to tap the Wasteland. All right, I don't think it matters too much. Okay, we're getting in for 7. And we have a Brainstorm to set up this Counterbalance, so that's cool. And yeah, we're kind of past the point of Empty the Warrens mattering. Surgical Extraction. Well, that's not a bad one. And we'll put them at 2. Is it going to be worth surgically extracting their Dark Ritual and their draw step? I guess so. I think it's worth seeing what they have. All right, I'll keep the 1 on top. Seems good. Okay, they have a handful of Abrupt Decays, but no way to cast it. Oh no. I am going to take a screenshot in case this somehow gets turned upside down. Yeah. Yeah, I would say there's no way they can win. They can play a Thoughtseize, and that's all they can do, and that's going to get countered by the Counterbalance. And my opponent's looks like they're just going to run out the clock. I'm going to resist the urge to say something passive-aggressive in the chat about how long it took them to make their decisions. Oh, okay, they conceded. All right, well then, I mean, they have 25 minutes to work with. If they want to use up all 25 minutes, it's their prerogative. Okay, round 3, we're on the play. All right, it's an easy mulligan. It seems like a good keep. I'll just start on the Thoughtseize on turn 1. And I have this conundrum where I can potentially save Bauble to try to help flip Delver. But I think I learned from what happened last time that it's best to know what's on top of my opponent's library when Thoughtseizing. So I'm gonna kick it off with the Bauble. All right, well, the opponent is starting with a Leyline, okay? Well, let's see what's on top of their library. Dark Ritual, okay? So presumably it's some kind of mono-black control type thing. Okay. Okay. This is a bit of a conundrum, huh? So they can Dark Ritual out Opposition Agent. So they have another Dark Ritual coming. So it wouldn't make any sense to take the Dark Ritual. I'm inclined to take the Grief because otherwise they can just grief me and take my Bowmaster. I mean, I could take Reanimate. So they could grief me. Then they don't get to Oppo Agent. And that leaves me with Delver or Orcish Bowmasters. I'm gonna have to deal, if I take grief, I'm gonna have to deal with Oppo Agent, but I'll get Delver down. But I'll be constrained on mana, and I don't have the red source to kill the Oppo Agent. If I take Reanimate, they can grief me and then play Opposition Agent. So I think I am just gonna take grief here and leave them on Opposition Agent. Okay. All right, I think I worked through that correctly. Yep. All right, we drew another Bowmaster. All right, the Vault of Whispers from the opponent. Oh. And I did this all wrong. I guess I was thinking that Leyline of the Void was going to exile whatever I took from their graveyard. I definitely next leveled myself there, but now they're gonna take Orcish. I don't know what they're gonna take here, but I'm not gonna lose to Opposition Agent, and we'll be able to get these Bowmasters out. Wow. Yeah, I got it all. I got it all mixed up there. Okay. All right, so we drew a Brainstorm. Well, I'm definitely going to crack while the cracking is good and get my Volcanic. And then I guess I'll see what they want to do. There's a Saga as their draw, okay. So I probably would double block their grief if I had that opportunity. I think this is an okay trade. Oh, I don't have to lose both guys, that's right. And I think I can just trade the Bowmaster here, because this Orc army will grow. Oh, no, I have to block with both. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, the unfamiliarity. Though I really, I definitely next leveled myself with a Void, and this I'll chalk up to inexperience with playing with the Bowmasters. But okay. So what I'd really like to find here is a Wasteland. That would be fun. Wow, we got there too. So I'm gonna play this Thoughtseize and take their Oppo Agent. Oh. Well, this is like horrendous play quality, folks. Yeah. Yeah. All right. The good news is, besides this Opposition Agent, they don't have much going on with the one land. I guess I'm gonna see if they want to attack with Opposition Agent here. Okay, they do. So I don't know if this means that they have like reanimate. I guess you'd have to assume that it does. But at least they're using the reanimate. Although you'd probably reanimate Grief first, wouldn't you? Unless they just want the Bowmaster out of my hand. They're just gonna let it happen, okay? These cards. Well, they're not terrible. I think this has to be a keep. So... Alright. I guess Unholy Heat would have made sense to draw first, but that'll be an answer for a Bowmaster if that's what they're up to. Or a Dothy Voidwalker. Maybe I should shuffle this Force of Will away. Another Urza Saga. Not good news. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and shuffle here. Yeah. This Leyline's doing work here. And we're not gonna get so lucky a second time. So we're probably just gonna lose to the Saga. Orcish Bowmaster from the opponent. Yeah, it's pretty grim. I guess I'll have Force of Will. Maybe they'll try to keep open mana for the Bowmaster and I'll have a chance to force it and not lose to Urza Saga here. No, they're not going to fall for it. And we know this draw is a Murktide Regent. Okay. Yeah, they're going to make a construct. And another construct. And I'm sure they have the Shadow Spear. Well, we don't have Brazen Borrower in this deck. But I think that we should be okay thanks to Meltdown. Well, they don't play the Shadow Spear. Must be what's going on here. You'd think if they had Shadow Spear, they would have gotten it. Okay. But we at least won't lose to Saga token so badly. Yeah, with Meltdown in the deck. I don't know, is Null Rod necessary in addition to the Meltdowns? I could see doing this kind of sideboarding. Like on the draw, I might be more tempted to board out Thoughtseize, but we kind of saw why Thoughtseize isn't great there. The occasional Thoughtseize is okay. I mean, that's a 2 of. It's probably fine. I mean, do we need the Rod? They probably are on a Helm strat. And I guess it could. I mean, they gotta be playing Shadow Spear somewhere in their deck. So I guess I'll play the 1 Rod. I'm sure that'll be fine. Like Force of Negation? Probably not. Price of Progress, it's probably not with this matchup. Probably not why it's in the sideboard. Okay, double Force Hand with a Rod. Okay, so let's just play Ponder here. All right, well, these are all cards. I probably should have fetched on turn 1 there because now we're potentially playing into the opposition agent. So I didn't think hard enough about what I was doing. Okay, so we're gonna get griefed. I guess he'll take a Force of Will. Then they'll probably reanimate it. I guess I didn't bring in Surgical. Yeah, I guess I could, it's late at night and I'm not playing as sharply as I should. Although it helps. I mean, this is my first time with Grixis Delver, but it would be better to apply the schmarts and do a better job. So yeah, maybe the Rod could have just been Surgical Extraction, and we would have had the artifacts covered with Meltdown, and yeah, some Surgical Extractions in hand. Although they would have just taken Surgical Extraction here first instead of Force. I don't know how great that would have been. Okay, here comes the reanimate. So are they going to... So the Null Rod's pretty good then. So if they reanimate, I'm going to Force, if that's how it's going to be for sure. Surprised they didn't take Null Rod if they want to start on Volta Whispers. Dark Ritual. Well, I feel like I have to let that resolve. Dothy Voidwalker. So is the last card reanimate then? I don't want to... I think I'm just going to have to let that go. And then I imagine there's a reanimate here. Okay. So we're going to play the Rod on turn 2. And hang on. Is there do I still have Meltdown on top of my library? Maybe that's the next card down. I can't even remember anymore. But I am just going to go ahead and play this Null Rod here. I think that'll be fine. So, yeah, I will see if they have basic Swamp, but this puts me in a position to just ponder for a Lightning Bolt. I have the Undercrypt there, but they're putting it into play tapped. Interesting. So the first order of business is definitely to resolve this Ponder. Or we could just rip Unholy Heat off the top and play Delver of Secrets. They can have a Chrome Mox. I wonder if they're going to pitch anything to it. There must be a method to that madness that I'm just not aware of. Ponder. Okay, well, I'll reveal. I'll attack. And I guess I'm going to assume I don't find Thoughtseize here. Okay, well, Daze is a pretty good one. Is it worth not getting DRC down this turn, though? What's the most threatening thing that they could do? Am I the control here? Okay. I think I'm just going to draw the Daze and just try not to lose this game this turn. Okay. So the opportunity cost would appear to be a point of damage. And I'm just going to get this out now in case we end up needing to Daze something. I could play like second main phase, but we might miss a Surveil. And I think I do want to Surveil the card on top of my library. But I think it's actually, oh. Well, I should have played Ponder on my second main, I think there. Okay. Okay, but they're not gonna do anything. Yeah, I definitely should have played Ponder in the second main. All right. Thoughtseize. I kind of like it, to be honest. At least I can make use of this crazy underground sea. And I'm not gonna be able to get Delirium this turn. So I think I'll Thoughtseize them and probably bin the Dragon's Rage. I'm sure one is fine. Let's put this into the graveyard. Beseech the Mirror sounds scarier than Opposition Agent. Like if they hit Dark Ritual, I think I'm just going to take Besiege the Mirror. I'm sure I can, we can win the battle against the opposition agent here. We have a lightning bolt coming up anyway. Yeah, well, there's the 3 mana, so we'll be dazing something here, I imagine. Yep, yes, we will. So the lightning bolt, it is on top of my deck, right? Pretty darn sure there's a lightning bolt on top of my deck. Yeah, there is. Another Daze. I don't think I need another Daze. Alright, they conceded. So it is that mono black Beseech the Mirror. So, I don't know, do I want Surgicals and Force of Negations? I mean, Daze is less good on the draw. Probably 2 Surgicals is okay. I want removal for their Dothies and Bowmasters. Like, maybe I should just try to make do without Murktide and not take a hard L to Leyline. Can I win this way is the only question. And, like, do they play Karn? Is this worth trying to bring in just as an answer to Karn? I guess Bolt and Unholy Heat can do that. Alright, I guess I'm going to try this Murktideless build. Alright, so here we have a fine 7. So yeah, we can force the Grief and then Surgical it when they go to reanimate it. And if that doesn't happen, we'll just play Dragon's Rage Channeler and feel smug. The opponent will take a mulligan. I'll keep. Okay, what's it going to be on this multi-6 opponent? Mr. Sniffin' Wister. Or, you know, Mrs. or however they identify. We ripped an Underground Sea. I think the play here still has to be to get Dragon's Rage Channeler down and accept the Surveil value if we need to start forcing. I guess this does open me up to a potential Bowmaster in here, but I guess everything except for turn 1 Ponder would have done that. Dark Ritual. I'm going to let that resolve. And here's a Sheoldred. Well, I'm going to force that one. And do I want to pitch Delver of Secrets? Force of Negation. I think I'm going to go ahead and pitch the Force of Negation. And I'm going to keep this other force on top. And then I expect they're going to go to reanimate their Sheoldred next turn. So that would have been a reason to bring in Sheoldred's Edict to hit Sheoldred with. See, I should have... They have Urberg, so I should have tapped the Underground Sea since we have the whole Grixis colors from the Volcanic Island. Yeah, there it is. I could see that coming a mile away. And inexplicably paid 2 life. A Wasteland. Well, that doesn't flip the Delver, but it is good. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the Wasteland. See what they're working with. A bunch of Agadeem's Awakenings and a Shadow Spear. Okay, well that makes me wish I had been the Wasteland because that doesn't seem very good. So we'll just be waiting for an Urza's Saga, probably for that Wasteland. So reanimate Fizzles. You can have your Shadow Spear. So yeah, the hand should be 1 Agadeem's Awakening. Alright, well I'm gonna go ahead and ponder and see what we're working with here. Another Dragon's Rage can go in the graveyard. So if I Wasteland them here, I do get Delirium. So we probably want to do that. Although I could draw Ponder. Well, I think I want to keep Ponder in hand for Force of Will. And I think we can just race Urza Saga at this point. So we don't really need Thoughtseize. Except we do need it to flip Delver. Okay. Alright, well, we're gonna hope that they don't rip Urza Saga for a turn. If they do somehow rip it, we do have Ponder to try to find a Meltdown or a Wasteland with. Okay, they did not play Urza Saga, so that should put us in the clear. Don't really get the feeling that their last card in hand is good. Okay, they conceded. Okay, well, we're on the play for round 4. And this is a hand that I'm going to keep. Okay, the opponent keeps on 7. I'm definitely going to go ahead and just take the free scry with Dragon's Rage here. I don't think we need another Delver. Some kind of interaction would be ideal. Thassa's Oracle. So I guess we're up against Breakfast or Doomsday. I think we're about to find out. Land, not exciting. I don't know if anyone plays Doomsday anymore, what with the Beseech decks out there. So I'd have to assume, okay, well, this is some crazy thing. Well, I don't have an answer for that Ether Vial, so we're going to try to kill them quickly. Okay, well, there's a Wasteland to turn off their Saga. And here's a Delver. And yeah, let's try to kill them quickly. So I would say I'm going to Brainstorm in my upkeep here and hope that the Delver flips. Just because racing seems like what we're up to. The Vial ticks up to 1. Now what's the follow-up? Polluted Delta. So I guess I would assume that it's some kind of that card that costs 1 blue and 1, and you switch your graveyard for your library, I believe. Okay, so the opponent cracks their Delta for a Tundra, and they've got a second Vial. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't force the first one. I think I am gonna crack off here. Well, that's an instant or sorcery, and I can't assume that we're not going to draw an instant or sorcery. I'll put back, I guess, Underground Sea and reveal the Ponder. And at least we are delirious, and they'll be dead in a few turns. So maybe they're Divining Witch. That would be pretty good. They filed in Divining Witch and then won with it. So I'll be trying to find a Lightning Bolt next turn. That has to be what's going on here. I am just going to go ahead and crack this now, lest I get Oppo agented or something irritating. I guess if they play something that I can Force a Will. Mana Severance, that's that 1 blue and 1 card. An Orum's Chant. Is it just a breakfast? I can't beat their breakfast anyway. So I guess I'll force the Orum's Chant. I guess it's just breakfast with Ether Vials then, which I guess makes sense. Bowmaster. Well, that could maybe do something. Yep. See, I feel like they're just gonna go for it anyway, and I'm going to lose. Yeah, that is just what's gonna happen. Yeah, they just have it all over there. All right. I'm gonna let them do their thing here. And just see what kind of deck they're working with. Yeah, so they're gonna Cabal Therapy me here, and that is cool. I just want to see how many Ether Vials they're playing in their deck. And it's at least 3 at this point. So we're seeing some Baleful Strixes, 3 Teferis, or at least 1 Baleful Strix anyway. So more reason to bring in Meltdown. So probably won't bring in the Rod, but we will bring in Meltdown. No Stoneforge Mystic. Good to note. I mean, presumably, they do have 1 more Cabal Therapy, so that they can therapy the Thassa's Oracle that we saw earlier. And, you know, I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they've foreseen this eventuality. Yeah, and there's the other Cabal Therapy. Yeah, so 1 step through. There's another Baleful Strix. Let's see the last card. Another Shuko. Okay, alright. There's a Thassa's Oracle. They can Dread Return it. I'm good from there. Alright, so a bunch of cards I'm interested in here. I guess I like my removal. Well, let's think about this. The Bowmaster is good at picking off Nomads and Core. I mean, maybe I don't need the Unholy Heats. I kind of think that Delver is not a necessity. I mean, these other cards kind of seem better. We are going to be like the control here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Delver applies pressure, but is it better than Murktide at just when we want to turn and just close out the game? And then, so we just need 3 more cuts. So is it just the Baubles? I don't really want to cut Thoughtseize, the Bolts, the Bowmasters, or the Daze, or the Murktides. So yeah, we'll just run this. Well, it's a turn 1 Thoughtseize, and we can Brainstorm turn 2. We've got Daze, so definitely enough going on here for me. Okay, let's go. Alright, I'm gonna play Thoughtseize. Nomads Encore, step through into Teferi. So do I just take their turn 1 play of Nomads Encore? And not sweat the Teferi, which can probably be dazed at some point? I think so. Just set them back on their combo. Alright, they're gonna pass it on back. Wasteland, well, that's a good one. Okay, and some other cards too. So I guess I don't need Murktide right now. And then now I can play my Dragon's Rage. And start getting some Surveil value. Opponent's gonna crack that Strand. Alright. Wasteland, not super exciting. I guess I'll play this Brainstorm and assume we're in... Maybe I should have tapped the red, but I have a red card in hand. Now, do I want this Surgical Extraction? Got all these Wastelands in hand that are going to be of questionable use. I guess Surgical's okay. All right, I'm gonna put back Wasteland and Flooded Strand. I'm gonna assume that we get to remove that Flooded Strand with a Surveil here. Okay, well they've ripped up basic land. I believe these 4 plus 1 unknown must be what's in their hand. So are they gonna tap out for Teferi here and I'm gonna get to Daze it? Yes, that's a great use of this Daze. I was likely gonna be losing value soon anyway. But I guess they see my Wasteland and know that they don't have a way to get the basic planes. In any case, it works for me. So the only thing is I'm just not killing my opponent very quickly here, and I wish I had that Murktide now. Though it might be a little hard to tap out for it in this spot. Thoughtseize, well, that's a good one. So now we can either take their step through, or take the Cephalid Illusionist, although I really don't know why they would, well, I'll take a Ponder, that seems fine. I don't know why they would step through and let me discard them. Now, the Nomad's Encore is not a wizard, so I don't think this step through does a whole lot here. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the Orm's Chant, and they can double up on the Cephalid Illusionize. Yeah, I think that makes sense, given like the Surgical Extraction that I have in my hand. Although, if I had taken the Cephalid Illusionist there, I suppose I could have surgically extracted it. Then I'm not sure how they win. There's an Ether Vial. Yeah, you know, maybe I missed my chance to Thoughtseize and just take their Cephalid Illusionist. That might have been dumb. Orcish Bowmasters. Well, I could put this in the graveyard and get Delirium right now. And then cut them off of cantrips. Well, I think I just need to get the Dragon's Rage clocking them. Okay, these are some cards. I guess Counterbalance really isn't that hot. So maybe I'll get a chance to surveil it away. Or pitch it to Force of Will. Maybe Counterbalance isn't the right card against this Ether Vial deck. But I guess it's Pyroblast anything at this point because Ether Vial is just not looking very good. I mean, they probably don't have the Nomads and Core in hand. I guess we have Surgical Extraction if they start going for it anyway, so I feel good about that. And I am just going to bend this Counterbalance. I'm not sure that that is the right sideboard card. I'm just going to try to keep slowing him down. Yeah, but this DRC just needs to attack for a few more turns. And we have, like, as long as we have Force of Will to counter their Orm's Chant, they need like 2 Orm's Chants somehow to get through here. Or Orm's Chant plus Force backup, I suppose. Okay, they want to walk an Underground Sea into Wasteland. I guess I'll see what I draw for my turn here. A land. Okay, so they're almost dead. So yeah, we just got to make it one more turn. I guess I'll let them make their Vial decision. And then Wasteland the Underground Sea. And I guess they can step through here. They did not. Okay, they've got another Underground Sea. Cabal Therapy. All right, well, I guess they get to have that. All right, they name Force of Will, but we have Surgical and Bolt and Brainstorm, so I don't see how they're going to do this. Okay, well, I guess my opponent's passing it on back here. Okay. We're going to attack with Dragon's Rage. And I guess I'm gonna fire off a Brainstorm here. Let's, okay, they conceded, great. Okay, so I think I'm out on Counterbalance, the way they've got it here. So the Rod doesn't sound so bad. Neither does, I mean, Force of Negation has, Daze doesn't seem that great. It seems pretty bad on the draw. Maybe could just play, maybe Counterbalance is somehow better than Force of Negation. I don't know, 3 Dazes is probably okay in my Wasteland deck. Maybe just 1 Counterbalance or 1 Force of Negation. I mean, it does potentially counter Dread Return. I think this is okay. I like how, with Cabal Therapy, they're not going to name Force of Negation. Most likely. I mean, this hand does answer the crazy Ether Vial starts. And it has some protection if they go off for it in like a non-Ether Vial start. So let's hope they play Ether Vial, huh? Okay, they played a turn 1 Ether Vial, so we got that going on. Okay, so here's a Pyroblast off the top. That's not a bad one. So Vial ticks up. You're going to play Flooded Strand. Crack Flooded Strand. And a Shuko, so this Meltdown's looking juicier. I guess I'll fetch on their end step here. Grab Volcanic Island. Play Underground Sea. Play Meltdown. They're gonna Daze. Well, I guess I'm gonna force back here. It seems like a pretty good value if this Meltdown resolves. They're brainstorming. Hopefully they don't find Force. If they do find the Force, hopefully they just go for it on their turn and we get to surgically extract our way into a victory. Okay, their brainstorm's resolved. Force of Will is in. What about this Meltdown? They're waiting, so I imagine something bad is happening. Nope. Okay. Good news for us. Surgical extraction on my Force of Will. You got it. Man, bringing in surgical extraction against the Delver deck, that seems like a free card for us. Now I won't even have to 2-for-1 myself again. But, well, we've all been guilty of engaging in questionable sideboarding strategies before, I'm sure. I guess they kind of had to go for it if they are stuck on basic planes. Okay, there's a Murky Reach. They did leave the Force of Will in my graveyard. Which is we're gonna punish them here. Because, yeah, we have just enough to play this Murktide Regent. Although they could pretty easily just have Swords to Plowshares. Murktide's in. Well, they didn't instantly have the Swords to Plowshares. There's the island. Okay, so they do have the swords. All right. So what I'd like to draw here is an Orcish Bowmasters. Bauble will have to suffice. A Shuko. Okay. Thoughtseize, that's probably going to be a good one on our turn. A Teferi. Well, that one I'm going to Pyroblast. Bowmaster. Nope, but I guess a Brainstorm is pretty good. I'm going to fire that one right off here. I guess it probably would make sense to have Thoughtseized first. I guess I'm going to do it like this. I've got the Step Through and a Shuko. Which do I want to take? Shuko could pump up a 1/1. Step Through costs 2 mana to Wizard Cycle. I guess I'll just take the Step Through and let them have the Shuko. Shuko's in. They've got 1 card in hand. So do I want to Thoughtseize their 1 card? I guess I'm going to try to wait a turn here. Though I guess I could get punished by Orm's Chant. So I probably just jinxed it. Okay. We're not getting punished by Orm's Chant. I guess I'm gonna take whatever this last card is here. Swords, okay. Well, at least we know it's not Orm's Chant. Man, it would be great to draw Orcish Bowmaster in these top deck battles, although it's not really like a lights out card like Hull Breacher. But in general, I feel like I have not been drawing the Bowmasters very much. Oh, well, this would be a great time to draw the Bowmaster, huh? Do I want to just Pyroblast this? I think that's, in this crazy top deck battle, that's okay. They have a fetch land in play. And bad things could happen. We are not drawing much on our end, though. They're pausing over there, like maybe they drew Cabal Therapy and are thinking about what to name. It looks like they're gonna pass it back, though. They do pass it back. And we draw lands. They're taking their time with their turns over there, so it seems like they have something, and unfortunately we're just bricking here. Okay, well there's a Brainstorm. I'm going to fire this off. Okay, well a Pyroblast will at least answer Teferi, so that is good. I will put back Scalding Tarn and the Ponder. And I guess I can just sit back for a turn here. Yeah, now that I have an answer for Teferi, I'm not about to immediately lose, so that is good. And then next turn we will crack fetch land and play Ponder, and hopefully find an Orcish Bowmaster or something. Island pass from the opponent. I'm gonna fetch, yeah, clear that land card. I'm gonna play Ponder. Alright, well, a clock is gonna have to do. Alright, Dragon's Rage is in. We're finally killing the opponent here. If I can survive this turn... Uh-oh, looks like they're doing something. Just cracking the fetch. And get the second DRC in, and really get some surveil value going. It looks like it's going to happen. Or that they do have something. If it's a removal spell on the DRC, that's fine. A Narcomoeba, that is fine. Shuko it up. Okay, we're good. Fine with all that. I did not, have to waste any... Well, I wanted to get to my turn without having to surveil away the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So we did get there in that regard. All right, we're doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna get this down now in case I end up needing to respond to something. I want those surveils. They were thinking about doing something there, which is interesting. So maybe they have the Orim's Chant. That would make sense. Yeah, Orim's Chant, a potential blowout here, unfortunately. The good news is I can brainstorm into Force of Negation. Force of Will. Ponder. Yeah, I think we're countering this one. Against their 2 cards in hand. Yep. Hydroblast. All right, I'll take my surveils and see where we are at. Lightning Bolt. Well, that's going to kill my opponent next turn. So, unless they block, which I guess they might do. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to put the Bolt in the graveyard. It's not that exciting. So we just got to fade Orim's Chant here. Well, we got to fade Orim's Chant plus Cephalid Illusionist. Yep. And they have 3 mana. So I guess a Daze would stop them. Or a Brainstorm into Force of Negation plus blue card. They chose not to shuffle, so that's scary. They are going to pass the turn, so that is good. Wasteland. All right, I'm going to get in there with this attack. Are we blocking? No. Well, I guess the Bolt would have got the job done. I guess I don't care about the double white if they want to like Orim's Chant me. So be it. Yeah, stop me attacking. That's not the mode on Orim's Chant that I'm worried about. But that does stop them from hard casting Cabal Therapy. So here's a Brainstorm. So I might as well respond with my own Brainstorm here and see if I hit Orcish Bowmasters, which could spell a win. Not Orcish Bowmaster. Not Orcish Bowmaster. 0 Orcish Bowmasters in a whole bunch of cards. Okay, there's Orcish Bowmaster. So let's play Orcish Bowmaster. I feel like I might as well pick off the Narcomoeba, although it's very unlikely to matter. But they're going to take 3 from the Bowmaster anyway. Yeah, I'm taking out the Narcomoeba. And then I'm going to deal 3 to them off this Brainstorm. Now, why didn't I lightning bolt them in response to the Brainstorm? That's a good question. That's probably something I should have done now that I think about it. Okay, their Brainstorm has resolved. We are stacking up some Bowmasters on their dome. And so, what is their final couple cards here? Is the big question. I guess if they have Force of Will for my Lightning Bolt, it's going to be all over, huh? No. Okay, no, we're all set here. I can Lightning Bolt them, and then if they Force of Will it, I think that Surgical Extraction should work. I guess I might as well Lightning Bolt the opponent, right? And see what happens. Okay, they do have the Force of Will. I think that means that Surgical Extraction should be able to win the game. Because, yeah, I can just Surgical their Narcomoebas already. Yeah, so I think we got it here. It's just going to be a matter of... I mean, I'm going to let them do this a bit, and I guess probably Surgical Narcomoeba response to a Narcomoeba trigger when it's on the stack, because I don't really see a reason to wait. Or, I mean, I could do it now, but I might as well make them commit to some Shukoing. Well, they've hit Narcomoeba here. I think I'm just gonna Surgical Narcomoeba. Yeah, and I think that'll be the game. We got the GGs from the opponent. Okay, all right, Surgical got the job done there. All right, one more to go. Okay, round 5 on the draw. Hopefully this opponent doesn't go to time. All right, well, my opponent is a depths gamer. If it was some kind of, you know, combo gamer, we might have kept that hand. But this one seems okay, but yeah, our deck isn't really set up to beat Jund Depths, you know, having absolutely no bounce. Oh, we do have the one Sheoldred's Edict, so that is something. Ooh, a Misty Rainforest. Maybe that means it's not Depths. But here are the Bowmasters finally showing up in the final round here. DRC. Dragon's Rage is in. Okay, well, I'd say they're not on Jund Depths, which has to be good news. I wonder if it's another breakfast match up. In which case, I'll be excited to actually have the Bowmasters. So they play Brainstorm and pass. Crack Misty. Should be telling whatever's about to happen here as to what they're playing. A tropical island. Okay, so I guess it's probably like Beanstalk Control would be my guess, or Earl Pile of some sort. All right, Ponder did not shuffle. I'll just go ahead and get my Surveil here. Then a Murktide. Look at the next 3. We did find the land. That is good news. And yet another Bowmaster. What are the chances I get to Daze something? Probably pretty good. If not, I think it's just another Bowmaster. We're not about to get Delirium anyway, unless I do Daze something. Yep. Yeah, it's a beanstalk deck, all right, and I cannot do anything about this beanstalk, but we do have a whole horde of Bowmasters. Yeah, do I want to Daze this Brainstorm? What else am I going to get to Daze? I could Daze this Brainstorm and keep the Bowmaster on top. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, it seems like Bowmaster... I'm really interested to see just how good Bowmaster is here. I've been playing Beanstalk in, you know, Teamer Beans, and Bowmaster seemed like an absolute beating. So I'm just interested to see, against like a control Beanstalk, how much Orcish Bowmaster can keep us in the game here. So here's a Teferi. So I'm gonna Bowmaster in response. Well, here's a Solitude on my Dragon's Rage. And a Force of Will on my Bowmaster. Well, this all seems like bad news. Yeah. It seems like their deck is built to handle this kind of situation, which is not good news for us. Guess, I guess I'm gonna play... Yeah, I'm just gonna... I don't want to miss on a land drop, and I don't think another land drop makes a huge difference here. Okay, so we get to do a damage to Teferi, get a 1/1 out. Maybe they don't have tons more things to Beanstalk into. Well, they have another thing to Beanstalk into. Ooh, okay, so we get to deal damage to their Teferi at least. And amass the Orc. Okay, so this is good. Do they have another answer for my... Yeah, okay. So, Orcish Bowmaster down. We're gonna Mystic Sanctuary for Brainstorm. Okay. Here's a Wasteland. I guess I'll take the opportunity to play this Ponder. Force of Will looks okay, but 2 lands looks really bad. Well, the thing is that Daze isn't going to do anything here. And then I'll get to shuffle away the... I guess I didn't need to play the Wasteland before pondering there. And I cost myself some percentage points. But I'll at least get to shuffle away the second fetch land with the first fetch land. And I get to play this Bowmaster right now. Okay. We will stack up the opponent here with some Bowmaster triggers. Okay, so these are happening. Misty Rainforest. So they're playing a Ponder here, so I mean that's good. Okay, well we might pull this out. Their hand must be a lot of air the way they're playing these cantrips. And so we have Force and Murktide here to maybe push it through. Okay, well they did choose not to shuffle. So is it like a Solitude here? A Leyline Binding. Swords to Plowshares on the Orc Army token. Is this worth Force of Willing? See, the thing is that they're not quite dead. I think I have to live with it, and at least we get to keep the Bowmaster, and if they draw any more cards, we are at least amassing orcs. Okay, so let's attack for 1. Let's Wasteland this crazy garden. Let's make sure we get that other fetch land shuffled away. I guess I'll get Volcanic Island. And, yeah, let's get in there with ye old Murky Regent. And yeah, we'll just try to force a will whatever they're about to do here and hope that, that we can cross the finish line. Okay, so they're going to play a Taiga, and they've got 2 cards left. An Uro. Well, that's gonna, yeah, they're gonna take damage off that. They're gonna go up to 9, but we're amassing triggers here. And orc armies and whatnot, so I think we'll live with it. Okay, so maybe the plan here is just to play Uro and I get to Daze it. Looks like it is. Okay, well, all right. Well, this would have been like an unwinnable game for like Rug Beans. They just would have leyline binding our up the beanstalk, and there would have been no way for us to keep up. Okay, so we're gonna get to use these sweet price of progresses, so that is cool. So they probably are in a carpet strategy, so I'm not gonna keep in 4 days. This seems like a lot of bolts. If they do get a Solitude into play, I'm probably gonna want to lightning bolt it. I mean, Force of Negation can at least be hard cast. Maybe 1 Force Negation's fine. So we'll do the old 3 and 3 split on the Daze and Forces. We got Price of Progress to try to blow them out with. Thoughtseize seems okay. This does not seem like a... I don't think you're supposed to bring in Counterbalance against the, you know, the mono 5 drop deck. Okay, let's go to game 2. Now here we have like an oh so close hand. I mean, the good news is that Carpet's not very good against us. I think we have to try to play Magic, though, as much as I would love to cheese them out with multiple Price of Progresses. And I think that I'll put Lightning Bolt back. Like, what Daze can do here is counter their turn to Beanstalk. Now I can pitch to Force a Will. There's the Beanstalk. I'd say that these cards look good enough. So there's our predictable basic forest. So here, I'm sure, comes the Carpet. Okay, well, they didn't instantly have Carpet. I'm as surprised as anyone. They always have Carpet. Okay. Play Dragon's Rage. And we'll hold up some Pyroblasts here. So, yeah, maybe they shuffled away that Beanstalk that we saw off the Bauble. Okay, well, here's a Force. Wasteland for their Caracas. Yeah, I mean, that probably seems good. I could shuffle away this Wasteland, but I think it's close enough to being good. And then I'm just gonna Pyroblast anything that I can here. Hopefully they don't have a second Beanstalk. Endurance. Yeah, you're gonna get that one. So maybe Sheoldred's Edict is one I want. I'm gonna play this Ponder. I guess this Brainstorm is good enough. I'm gonna get hurt by carpet at some point here. Going to happen. Yeah, the front side of Uro has to happen, so maybe I was supposed to bring in surgical. I guess the good news is they only have 2 cards in hand here. Lightning Bolt, looking atrocious. That's going to be my pitch to, or put back with Brainstorm card here. Yeah, here comes an Uro. Did hit the, yeah. Apparently you can destroy target spell if it's blue. Okay, yeah, your Flusterstorm is fine. Can't pay. Shall Pyroblast though. And yeah, we're gonna try to find a Wasteland or another Pyroblast here. Brainstorm. The price of progress. Well, I can force their Uro, and that's all I got going on here. Yeah, I mean, I guess force the Uro and that's all I got. Yeah, I mean, price of progress is terrible here. We're not ahead on life total. But maybe we can draw like Murktide here. Okay, they're not gonna do anything interesting. I really did mean to get another Underground Sea there. Yeah, I mean, I guess they got me with this Pyroblast, but I'm just gonna lose to Endurance, so that's cool. I see, they did not have enough cards for the Uro, but I do have this Force of Will. Yeah, if we draw Murktide, you know, maybe we can stabilize the board a little bit. Nope, okay. All right, well, I think I can sideboard a little bit better. All right, so Edict can take out an Endurance or an Uro or maybe a Planeswalker. Unholy Heat can kill Endurance or Uro or Planeswalker. And it's possible I don't need both of these. I mean, Force of Negation. I mean, it can, yeah, I'm playing Force of Negation in the late game, I think is okay. I just really don't want to just lose to Carpet. But Daze and Carpet on the play is so powerful. And I guess we have Thoughtseize. All right, I'm just gonna try it like this and hope for the best. Okay. All right, well, this hand has turn 1 Thoughtseize to take their Carpet of Flowers or what have you. So that's cool. And a Bowmaster. Okay, yeah, this is like a great hand. This is what we'd hope for. So let's do the Thoughtseize. Multiple Beanstalks and a Lorien Revealed. Am I gonna surgical their Beanstalk? Yeah, I mean, I guess I am gonna surgical their Beanstalk. I don't think I need to do it until turn 2 though. It just gives them more opportunity to possibly draw more beanstalks. I'm gonna play this Delver. Let me just think here about all this sequencing. If I can use Bauble now and know what they're drawing, but I'm gonna see what they're drawing anyway. So I guess I'll save the Bauble to use on myself. This thing doesn't play Flusterstorm, right? No, it does not. All right, did they draw another Beanstalk? Okay, they did not, and their hand is nothing. Wow. So just Lorien Revealed and Caracas. So they play 4 Solitudes, 3 Urrows, some Bindings, just 2 copies of Carpet of Flowers. Got all their Beanstalks in exile. All right, we just gotta not lose to Teferi and 2 copies of Endurance. Okay. Okay, unset the stop there. Yeah, I'm gonna Bauble myself. Another Delver. I could shuffle that away. Or I could just try to kill my opponent quickly here. I've got the Bowmaster. I think another Delver is not really what I need. I guess there might be a more effective way to have done what I did there. All right, well, we got there. And that Unholy Heat is delirious in the event they choose to play Endurance. Cycling that Lorien Revealed. So their hand should be like all mana and maybe something else. Teferi. Well, we're going to play Orcish Bowmaster. That's a good one, huh? So they'll bounce. Yeah, Delver. We get to pick off the Teferi. Sweet. Attack for 3. I'm gonna get this Delver down. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna just be brainstorming Swords to Plowshares. Sure. They have another 3-drop. Yeah, we just get to Daze it, so no worries. I think I do want to play Brainstorm here, though, because we just know we have another Bowmaster. We can reveal Unholy Heat once again. Do I just play the Bowmaster now and get the Amass? Looking at their deck, I guess I don't see why not. It's not like they can get Uro into play immediately. So yeah, I'm just gonna push for damage here. Oh yeah. All right, what do you got, opponent? Anything? Okay, well, that is a trophy. Playing Yield Grixis Delver. All right, well, we won every match 2-1, which is what you want to do with the old Daze tempo deck. Yeah, I mean, Orcish Bowmaster totally kept up with the Beanstalk in the last round, impressively so, Beanstalk control. There were some close games and some rusty plays at the beginning, but that is, yeah, a trophy for the old Grixis Delver, the first of the season there. Yeah, I guess it's nice to be playing just a normal Delver deck. The Rhinos, the mulliganing decisions can be mind-numbing, and all the slots in the sideboarding are a little tricky. But yeah, Orcish Bowmaster, I guess it is like Renin 6. It lets you keep up with the control decks, but it's not just completely busted. So that was pretty sweet. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that trophy. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. All right, thanks. All right, bye.